Alright, okay, I'm going to show you a great little technique to add fake stitching onto your pages. Now you can do machine stitching, or you can use something like the new stitching tool by We Are Memory Keepers that pokes holes and then you can go through and hand stitch. But this is kind of a different technique, and this is, we're using something that's called a tracing wheel, and it's used for sewing. Actually use it with chalk to mark your sewing patterns if you learn to sew old school like I did. You can usually find them in the fabric store. They're cheap. They're like $1 or something like that. They're not a very expensive tool. I like to use it with paint. You can use it with ink. What I like about paint is that paint has got a little bit of texture to it, so it actually kind of resembles stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to do it on some scratch paper, and then I'll show you how we're going to do it on our layout. So I'm going to do red stitches on this paper here that actually looks kind of like denim. So I thought it would look really cool. It would look like jeans or something like that. So you don't need very much paint for this, and this is probably way more than what I really needed. I just put it on a piece of scratch paper. And then what you want to do is just kind of dip it in the paint and then just kind of work it so that it gets all the way around the tracing wheel. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to take, here, let me put this on sort of a darker piece so you can kind of see where I'm going with this. You're just going to take the tracing wheel and you're just going to go along the edge like this. Now, if you're nervous about your stitches being not straight or something like that, you can always, work along the edge of a ruler. You could take a ruler and you could actually score like a little bit of an embossing line or something like that. So that's how we're going to do our stitches. Now, if you've got a really steady hand, you can actually go through and do a double set of stitches like that. Isn't that cute? I mean, how cute is that? It looks so so fun and fresh and just kind of a different kind of a look. So you can kind of practice a couple of times with this, and then before you do it on your layout, because you don't want to try it out on your layout and then find out that it's not working out very well. The biggest trick to this is making sure that you get paint going all the way around the tracing wheel. Okay, so I'm going to move this off to the side, and I'm going to actually do it onto my layout page. So I'm going to do it on the denim pieces right here. So we've already got this all cut, so like I said, I'm just going to kind of work that all around my tracing wheel, and then I'm just going to start. And for me, I'm not so particular if it gets a little bit uneven or if I'm a little bit crooked. This is definitely not a perfect technique. Like if you were, you could do machine stitching or something like that if you were really wanting it to come out 100% exactly even. So that's what I'm going to do there. I think I might need just a little bit more paint. One thing is you want to make sure when you clean your tracing wheels that you get all the paint off, because it will dry and make this really kind of a goopy mess along the wheel. So you can see that it's just very subtle. It just adds a really nice, different kind of a textural element to your page without adding a lot of thickness. Now, like I said, you could definitely get out your sewing machine and sew this if you wanted to, but this is just kind of a fun alternative. And you could do pen stitches. I've never been very good at doing a nice, even pen stitch, but this actually does look like you actually stitched it with a sewing machine. So that's going to be our fun technique. So I'm going to finish up our page, and then I will you'll see the page instructions and all that come through on your handout. Thanks.